Hello everyone and welcome to Hot Cars and welcome to the 2021 Audi RS-Q8, Audi's flagship super SUV. It has a twin-turbocharged, mild hybridized 4-litre hot V V8. It has 590 horsepower and 591 pound-feet of torque. And let's get all of this talking out the way and let's just go drive this thing. Before I get too crazy and get ahead of myself, first things that I want to address is many thanks have to go off to Glenmore Audi that allowed me to play around with this demo model. And I'll also say that I recently tested out the Audi Q8 in its base format, so I'm not going to spend any time in this video talking about the second row space, how the interior is put together, because I think I did a pretty good job in that video. So please go check out that if you want to see my thoughts regarding those topics. So to business. You can get yourself into some very serious trouble with the RS-Q8. As I mentioned at the top, this has the 4-litre twin-turbocharged hot V mild hybrid 48-volt system V8 engine. It's the same engine that's shared with the new RS6 Avant and the RS7, as well as a few Porsche Panamera and Porsche Cayenne models. It's an incredibly delightful engine, and here it's mated to the 8-speed torque converter automatic transmission with Quattro all-wheel drive. And this being an RS model, there are a lot of features that are reserved strictly for Audi's absolute best performance vehicles. First few things to mention off, we've got carbon ceramic brakes in this RS-Q8, something you will only see in this version of the Q8, and it shares the record with the Lamborghini Urus as having the largest brakes ever fitted to a car. Their stopping power is epic and really is necessary if you want to slow down a car that weighs close to 6,000 pounds. I'm on a road right now, so I'm not going to really demonstrate them for you now, but believe me when I say I've never felt bite like them. And when it comes to them being carbon ceramics, because this is an electric braking system, it's very easy to modulate. They feel quite soft. I haven't noticed them squeak at all in my time driving. But the electronic part of that conversation is important because they are variable. When you go from your different driving modes, and most notably in the RS1 or RS2 modes, you'll immediately feel a very different sensation when braking, lightly or very aggressively. So it has a little matter of inconsistency. Where the RS-Q8 excels the most is at day-to-day driving. And if you got behind the wheel of this, and you never really pushed the engine more than 3,000 RPM, it would feel like you were in the most luxurious version of the Q8, because the RS-Q8 only has the air suspension system, and I'm on the 22-inch rims right now with winter tires, so I've got a little more sidewall working with me here, and the ride quality is incredible. This is still very much a luxury SUV with gobs amount of power built in, but a few pulls of the paddles, and now I'm in second gear, 5,000. And now it's a totally different animal. And apart from the carbon fiber trimmings, the flat bottom steering wheel, and the one-piece RS seats, you could very quickly fool anybody in thinking that you're in a vehicle that's significantly less expensive and significantly less focused. There's certainly some problems I have with it, which I'll get to in a minute, but just to talk a little more about the experience behind the steering wheel. There's a little more weight in the steering, and I don't know if this is simply a software thing or we're accounting for the additional mass that the V8 has brought up front. I like this added weight. It doesn't have that artificial feeling like going into dynamic mode in any other Audi feels, you know, unnecessarily tight and heavy. This is a perfect balance. When you're doing regular driving, not using the paddles behind the steering wheel, just going up and down the speed, this 8-speed transmission is just as flawless as in every other model. Hides away in the background, you never even really know it's there. But when you go into manual shifting, like I'm doing right now, downshifts could be a little quicker, but upshifts, they're very good. But then a new element is unlocked when you go into RS1 and RS2 mode. You get some real shunts from the shifter, and it's a totally programmable thing. They want you to feel more drama when you're accelerating. So if I hit the RS mode button on the steering wheel, and I'm gonna go down to, let's say, second gear, watch this. Oh, that was quite a pickup in speed, but there's certainly more drama, and the suspension gets a little stiffer, but still not enough for me to be concerned about regular driving. It's just, if you really want everything, you're gonna have to pay for it, but damn, this RSQ8 really does deliver. The V8 sounds incredible. Oh, I hope you can hear that as well as defined as I can. But then in a touch of a button, going back into comfort mode, it all just returns to a very civilized, very normal vehicle. And like I said, from behind the steering wheel, there really isn't too much of a giveaway. On the outside though, the RSQ8's design is substantially different to the normal Q8 and even the SQ8. There's a totally different grille, much larger air intakes down below, the side seals are a little bit extended. Let's talk about the styling a little more with the RSQ8 because it is distinctive, and when you park it up alongside any of its other Q8 family members, it will look substantially different. You'll notice right away that the larger air intakes have this big silver element that kind of connects the two together. Really, the entire front of this car is an air intake, and when you leave this car alone after parking up, it will have the fans going for quite a few minutes just to cool down that huge engine. Down below, you'll have the big fat oval exhaust, one of the key elements of an RS vehicle design. The RSQ8 offers the carbon optics pack, and that will add a lot of carbon fiber to the exterior design of this vehicle. When we're talking about the mask up front, that whole surround can be carbon fiber. That little plaque that owes homage to the original Audi Quattro would be in carbon fiber, and those silver elements that you see at the bottom of the bumpers front and rear would be carbon fiber as well. And as I did that quick U-turn, I might as well mention that the RSQ8 also comes standard with 4-wheel steering, and it's spooky the way that this very large mid-size SUV can turn on a dime just like it's a subcompact car. A couple of issues that I have with the RSQ8. My main issue is that these one-piece seats don't fit a tall person all that well. If I want to lean my head back, you'll see that really only the base of my skull and my neck is held onto. If you're smaller, then these seats might fit you a little better, but for a tall person like me, that feeling is a little worrying. I don't like that even in the most expensive Audi SUV, we've got plastic paddles behind the steering wheel. I wish they would have used metal. So at the end of the day, what do you get with the RSQ8? Well, perhaps not as much connection as you'd want from a near 600 horsepower SUV, but we're talking about an Audi flagship here. Before you even say Audi flagship super SUV, you're talking about a vehicle that really prioritizes refinement, build quality, and just removal from the external world. The RSQ8 really excels at that. The sound system is incredible. There's no less space in the second row or in the boot space. And apart from the additional price and a significant decrease in fuel economy, I have very little else to complain. So let's finish up this video and call it a day. So those are my thoughts towards Audi's 2021 RS Q8, a really mad machine and really doesn't compromise in much in terms of livability. Yes, you're going to have to pay quite a premium to get into this flagship RS vehicle, but there's no doubting that this RS Q8 is special and I've really enjoyed spending my time with it. So thanks again to Glenmore Audi that made this review possible, lending out their demo model to me for a couple days, and many thanks to you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of those wonderful things really helps this channel out a lot. Thanks again, hope to see you again on Hot Cars soon.